Hey, how's it going? How's it going? How's it going? Some more. It's Politics with Laura here. All right, I got a good one. A good one for you. Let me see. Is that working? Let me see. Is that. All right. Yeah, so today is going to be a little different. I'm going to talk about different types of economic economies, right? So, a good friend of mine, she and I spoke about her before. Matter of fact, I text her, and I hope girl, I hope you come up to defend your point. Okay, to do that. So my friend, my girl, right? She is a lefty. She's a socialist. I don't know if she would classify herself as a communist. I'm not quite sure. But she is so left to the left that you can't get any more left than her. I said that before. But before I go any further,
not going back to Haiti. This is the time for all of us to
General, can I ask you?
I like that instrumental. I do. All right. So, we were talking about actually just like not too long ago. She got mad and she just hung up on me. I hope her phone didn't die because hanging up would let me know that I won and what you had to say, no. So, they said that you hung up on me because you just couldn't deal with my debating skills. All right. Now, her thing is socialism. And she believes that no one should have money like Elon Musk. That's too much money. No one should have that. In her head, right? She thinks that way. My thought is this. If you worked for it and you spent like 5 days up and you've been working on this project or on a prototype or whatever, and you put blood, sweat, and tears in it and it's yours, whatever you get out of it is yours because you put everything into it. Nobody else did. Somebody else come in and say, well, I know you built a prototype, but because my labor, I should get half. Everybody should get all your money and everything should be equally distributed amongst the masses or the people that work here. What? I'm over here working on a prototype and it took me 5 years to come up with it and you were nowhere around. You didn't put A, B, or C to it. You put Z or you put N for nothing. But you should gain unjust wealth off of somebody else's labor. Yes, girl, I said unjust wealth. Yes. Because you unjustly got it, right? So her idea is, matter of fact, I'm going to tell you how far she goes. And when she said, I'm like, I don't believe this. Now, when Trump went down and picked up Maduro, brought him and his wife up here, right? Now, I'm saying, wait a minute. Wait. Before that even occurred, Venezuela did not build any of the infrastructure of the oil, the rigs, none of that. No, they did not pay for that. They did not build that. They did not pay the companies for it. They got it for free. Free, double free, right? And so when Maduro basically, or Hugo Chavez came in, he's like, hey, yo, check this out. This is my oil. And they're like, well, yeah, it may be on your land, but we, built all this stuff that you have right here, built it all. We got it working. We put all the time, blood, energy, and money into it. and you want to kick us out. Fine. Pay us for it. Now, her thought is this. It doesn't matter that the United States or whatever companies that went down there and built the infrastructure of it and built everything up, got the oil going, got everything pumping, got the rigs out there in the Gulf of Mexico or Gulf of America, whatever the hell it's called, right? Got all that out there. She feels, because she's the lefty, the only lefty that goes so far over there to the left, so left that you can't go any more left than her. She said, well, you know, since they got money, they shouldn't get anything. What? I'm like, what? Wait a minute, that's not fair. She goes, well, the United States, and then she'll go through this long explanation of, well, the United States goes over there, goes into other countries, and they terrorize, well, not, those are my words, terrorize, but taking over countries, putting the people that they want into the interest of the United States. You know that the United States wasn't the first one that did that. You know that, right? Wasn't the first one. No. Let me see. Many countries have done that. Many. And the United States wasn't the first one, so making the United States look like the United States was the only one that's done that is disingenuous, right? You're not being fair, girl. You're not being fair, right? So she don't care. She's like, I don't care. I don't care at all. So I'm like, okay. Tell me, what socialist country is known for innovation? Which one? Help me out. Which one? Which country, socialist country, is known for innovation? I'll wait. She hates when I say that. I'll wait. And then she'll say, well, if it weren't for the interruptions or the United States going in and messing with them and not giving them time to do stuff. I mean, she'll go all the way around China just to say absolutely nothing, right? I don't mean it like that, girl. But however, she'll never directly answer the question. I'm like, okay, well, fine. Let's ask Google. Now, the only one that has innovated anything is Cuba. And their thing is education and healthcare. And they have done it because Cuba says, well, look, you cannot graduate or get a degree until you have taught someone to read. Now, capitalist countries don't do stuff like that. They're like, go ahead, read. Just don't break up the machines, right? Don't break up the machines. Just going out there. You know, be a manager, you know, do this, do that. We're going to have a 3-class society, which is a fallacy in itself because you have owners and you have workers. How do you get 3 classes out of that? Owners, managers, and workers? I don't know. But the structure is owners and workers. But I digress on that point. So her thing is, she, in my opinion, and I know she's going to call me. Don't call me. Put something down here. Put something down there. She romanticizes the thought of socialism. It is a romantic gesture within her because she says socialism would work as long as other countries would stay out of it, right? Stay out of what they got going on. I'm like, what? Again, I do that. What? What, girl? What? So then I said, okay. Socialism/communism hasn't worked anywhere. She said, well, it has as long as people leave it alone. And then she'll say, well, you know, They didn't have all of the facets of socialism. They didn't have all the components. Really. So then I tell her, okay, well, this country's socialism, this country's socialist, and this country's socialist has socialism in it. And she's like, oh, well, that's not a right example. And it's always pushing the goalpost. I'm like, but they call themselves a socialist country. And you're saying that's not a socialist country because it doesn't have A, B, C, D. Now, and many socialists do this. Many democratic socialists, like AOC, she does this crazy, oh, man. And in fact, the biggest socialist, Bernie Sanders, he's a capitalist now. He got a little bit of money and say, forget about you all, the equal distribution of funds. No. That is mine. I worked hard for it. I bust my butt in Congress for 30 years and I finally made some money. I'm not sharing with you. I'm not sharing with you. I'm not sharing with you, or you, right? I'm not sharing with nobody. And matter of fact, become the biggest capitalist. The biggest. So, before I start showing you my proof, then I say, well, socialism, it needs capitalism, or shall I say private companies, private industry, to move it along. Because they don't innovate anything. No one has an incentive to get up and work 20 hours a day, and then everybody else benefits but you, right? Right? It's nuts. I'm not doing it. And then she'll say it herself. No, I'm not doing that. I mean, look, Elon Musk, he works, 16-hour days, 7 days a week, 365 days a year to get a project out. And if you're not willing to put your blood, sweat, and tears into it, why should you benefit off of somebody else's work, somebody else's struggle, somebody else's sleepless nights? Matter of fact, you're over there snoring and you're falling off the bed. I mean, it's so unfair. It's so unfair. Now, their whole thing is, well, we ought to have the equality of outcome, right? They never say who defines the outcome. They do. They're like, okay. And this is what we're going to do. We're going to take over the capitalists, and they're going to fund us. And then we want to have the equality of outcome. And we're going to decide what that outcome is. And you are going to do it because we said that you are to do this type of job or whatever it is. And then you're going to have this outcome. Whether if you want to do it or not, that's the wild part. And as long as they are, putting down a foundation and they're saying, okay, go do it, while they sit on their rumps and watch you do it. And they reap the benefit. No. Now, I'm a capitalist. Now, before you start saying, no, I'm not a corporate capitalist. There's a penny capitalist, there's a free market capitalist, and then there's the corporate part. I'm not a corporate person. No, I don't believe in that. I don't believe in becoming so big that you basically destroy any all other companies because you just suck everything in. No. My thing is free market. And I'm not into, okay, you screwed up. Let's go ahead and restructure. And then you still run it. Or you're somewhere running. No. Nobody wanted it. They wanted it for a second. Now they no longer want it. Like, let's say, okay, I'll put it like this. You have these singers, right? You have these singers that were big back in the day. I mean, beautiful. All the guys wanted her. All the women wanted him. Now you have Rick Springfield, almost 80 years old, talking about Jesse's girl. No, Rick. No. Go home. No. We want to look at the video when you were in your 30s. We don't want to see you 70s and wearing those leather tight pants. No. No. Or if not, you have who can I think of? A Goldie Hawn. Beautiful back in her day. Wearing all types of beautiful stuff. And now she's in her mid to late 70s. We don't want to see her in well, I know I'm not into that, but I'm pretty sure guys are like, I don't want to see you in a see-through dress. No, Goldie, that is for you and Kurt. Okay? He can look at that 70-year-old body, 70-something-year-old body. That is for him to look at, but no, not for the rest of us. No. So, when you have free market capitalism, you can basically choose what you want, what you don't want, and if you don't want it, you don't have to buy it, right? But her thing is, okay, let Goldie Hawn continue. Let's keep on helping her. Rah, rah, Goldie, rah, rah, yes. See-through, okay, it may not be the best thing for us to look at, but keep on going. We're going to support you. No. We don't want to see Rick Springfield up there. I mean, imagine seeing George Clinton in his age now wearing all that wild stuff. He came out on stage with no clothes on. No woman wants to see that except his woman. We would not. Okay, who would run to go see the Parliament with George Clinton out there with zero clothes on, next to nothing, coming out of a damn starship? We would kick him back in the starship and say, go away, George. Go away. We don't want to see that. No. In your younger years, that's one thing. But right now, the market said no. Anyway, off of that, just to basically give you a clear understanding. Now, this is the stuff that I brought out. I was like, okay, girl, okay. I'm not going to say her name because I don't have permission. So I'm like, okay. Let's see, what was the first one that where is it at? Okay, here. So I started talking about China, right? Or the Red Dragon country. I was talking about that right there. And she's like, oh, well, the Red Dragon country, it had its star and they had too much interference and they could have been great if it weren't for it. And I'm like, oh man. I'm like, come on. Are you still going to stick with that right there? Are you still going to stick with that? And yeah, she still stuck with that. So I did a small Google, just put in, what did I write down? Okay, I don't know. But anyway, I was focusing on, these time errors. And to where it got to the point to where I came across here, the landlord reform, right? Now, this is under the People's Republic of China, or Red Dragon country, right? And their thing was they were consolidating popularity amongst the peasants. Of course, the peasants are going to love them. Of course, yes, I love you. I love you. And I'm going to tell you why they love them. Let me make that screen a little bit bigger. Because it includes the state-tolerated executiones between 1 and 2 million landlords by peasants and former tenants. Now, let's just back up for a second. You can't make this stuff up. She's like, yeah, get them, peasants, get them. Now, look, you got a landlord, right? And your landlord is just want to provide a service, right? And you needed that place. Now it's supply and demand. You know, you needed a place, he had the place, and you had the money to pay for the place. Now at some point, you may have lost your job or whatever it is. So if you lost your job, well, you all to allow that person to live there for free because they paid rent for X amount of time they were there. So that right there should be given to them for free until they're ready to pay. Now, I'm not saying she said that, but I'm just saying some people say it. And, you know, that's them. Well, under the socialist slash communist, the government allowed the tenants and the peasants to unalive 1 to 2 million people, and she was okay with that. Well, you know those capitalists? I'm like, they weren't even capitalists. It was feudalism. They weren't capitalists. Capitalism has never touched the Red Dragon country until now. Now they let private ownership in, and now it's flourishing. Now you got millionaires, billionaires, you got money all over the place, but she don't want to ever talk about that. Never. Never. Because it goes against her narrative, right? So I'm like, wait a minute. Are you serious? Are you really, okay, serial. Are you really serial about this? Right? So, you know, so 2 million landlords by the peasants and the former tenants throughout the, what is it called? The People's Republic of the Red Dragon country initially allied closely with the Soviet Union. The relationships between the two communist countries or nations gradually deteriorated because you know you can't have two socialist communist countries working together because somebody's going to steal something. Somebody's going to steal from the other, turn it around and say, I did it, and try to market it as theirs. No, I'm joking. But anyway, here the Chinese population increased, right? It increased by 550 million in the 1950s to 900 million in 1974. Now, that is a lot. 400 million people within a what? A 24-year period. Damn. And their thing was called the Great Leap Forward. It was a massive industrialization project, which you're getting into capitalism. A little bit here because now you're bringing industries, you're bringing in competition, you're bringing in products, you're producing stuff. That's what you're doing. But you have it under socialism slash communism. No, you were a damn capitalist all this time. Right? So, then we get down here to Deng Xiaoping, I don't know. Took power, and together with the 8 elders, most of the influential members of the party, the economic reform marked Red Dragon countries a transition away from the planned economy, and the Red Dragon country adopted its current constitution of December 4th, 1982. So they had like a lot going on there. They had Tiananmen, whatever you call it, square. A lot of people lost their lives under this economic planned economy. A lot happened. A lot. So just getting her to see that, and she's stuck on it. No matter what. So, I'm showing her this, and she goes, well, I don't man, look, I read it to her, right? And she said, I don't believe it. You know how people make stuff up. I'm like, oh my goodness. That right there. So you're saying that you don't believe that the People's Republic, or shall I say the Communist Party, um, allowed the peasants and the former tenants to eliminate 1 to 2 million landlords. That's a lot of people. Now, in my area, in DC, right, has about, what, 600,000 people, maybe a little bit more, in DC. Now, you would have to add the surrounding areas in the Maryland and Virginia to make up, what, 2 million people. That's nuts. So right there's like putting DC and Baltimore together. I don't know how many people are in Philly. I'm not quite sure. But if you put both DC and Baltimore together, which would be a complete fight, a complete fight, right? And imagine all those people are landlords and are perishing because the underclass or the poor people were like, how dare you, right? So my thought is this, because I do believe in free market economy. I do. I believe in the free market, and you should put in competition, because competition only drives innovation. And if you mess up, let your company go, and then you come back stronger with a better idea. That is what makes the world go. But no, just keep throwing money in that. Like okay, the biggest one are bankers. Oh my goodness. How do you keep on crashing the damn economy? What kind of dumb stuff are you doing? Or okay, I'm not going to say it. What kind of dumb stuff are you doing to continuously crash the economy? Now, what is it called? The fractional banking? For an example, you can't, damn criminals. These people right here are socialists because they are, well, not saying that socialists are criminals or communists are criminals. I'm saying these people are criminals. Yeah, fractorial banking, right? You have $50. Let's to keep it simple. You have $50, right? You have your bank, and you want to lend credit, not money, but credit, right? And the person needs $100, but you only have 50. So then you give that person a loan for $100, and then over time they pay it back, and so you get that money. But really, it was only $50. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. You can't make it up, right? That right there is socialism. Socialism. These damn bankers. But anyway, I text my friend. I thought she was. I knew she wasn't coming up. I knew it. She wasn't coming up. I hear the fire engines coming. I'm pretty sure you hear it too. But I mean, I just think. Oh wait, before I get into what I think. Okay, let me bring this up right here. So, okay, where is it at? All right, here. Oh, okay, I already. Okay, I'm sorry. I got the wrong thing up. I do apologize. Okay. All right, here. So, I was asking her questions. And, so, here, it says, the key areas in the Red Dragon country. And I got to say, it didn't last very long, right? Socialism, communism did not last very long in the Red Dragon country. So they had a strict planned economy, and they really did. I mean, people lost their lives behind it. And then the leader, Deng Xiaoping, introduced the market reform to boost the growth because they had to add something more than just socialism, because socialism doesn't invent anything. It doesn't move the economy. It's like everybody's getting the equal distribution of funds, right? So, one person doesn't want to do all the work while everybody else say, well, because you did that and you did the prototype, you did it all by yourself. You worked on it for 5 years. And now that you did that, I think because I took a hammer and I should get half your profits. Even though that you came up and I had nothing to do with it, but because I took my labor, right? You didn't labor over designing it. You didn't labor over spending countless hours. You didn't labor over coming up with prototypes. It messed up. You start all over again, erasing stuff. Thank you very much. You did none of those things at all. But because you picked up a hammer and you got paid for that, but you feel that you should get extra when you didn't do extra. She's going to call me up. She's going to call me up. I can hear it now. So the reform and then the socialist, okay, and that right there is like present now, but now they're bringing a blended of private business to the global trade. So you're adding basically a mixed economy between socialism and capitalism through private industry. That's moving. Now, whatever Trump says, that right there has nothing to do with this right here, right? But one last point, let me get rid of that. So one last point I do want to bring out, and I'm going to keep it really simple. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Oh my goodness. Here. Now, I thought this right here was quite interesting, and I wish I had this when I was talking to my friend. Capitalism, socialism, comparing economic systems, right? And it's just money and how it's distributed. Do you work for it? All right. So here, I was telling her that capitalism relies on private ownership and free market for the economy to grow. Yeah. Competition. Private industry, you go ahead and you open up your own company that has nothing to do with the government, but you register with the government. Say, this right here is my business plan. This is my company, and I'm occupying. I got 20 people. Blah blah blah. Taxes, this, that, and the other. Okay, fine. You did all that. So there's capitalism. But then when you go down to the socialism, that emphasis on central planning and public ownership. Nah. Okay, let me not do that. So you're basically working with the government because everything is centralized. Everything goes through the government. Everything, right? And public ownership is, you have these co-ops. You have these businesses that are co-ops. Everybody's in there. Everybody shares everything. But you don't share your partner. No. That's where you're capitalist. This is my private stuff right here. I don't share, right? Now, the mixed economies is a blend elements of capitalism and socialism. And, now different countries are starting to do this, and it makes sense. Like the United States, you have Social Security, you have social welfare systems, food stamps, things of that sort. You got, but then you have the government, insurance by the government. So I'm starting to see that the United States is becoming more of a mixed. But then you have the lefties being so left, so far left to the point to where you can't get any lefter than my friend, right? And her thing is, universal health care. Everybody gets insured. I'm like, fine, okay. I got no problem with that. Are you working? But here it says socialism can struggle with can struggle with efficiencies and innovations due to reduced market incentives, and that right there is the main point. You got okay. I know. Okay. I'm going to say it like this because I know everyone has had this, right? Everyone. You're working in a group, right? You're working in a group, and everybody is supposed to work together, right? Supposed to. But it always winds up 10% of the people that are working together are pulling everybody else's weight, while the other 90% sits around and do this social loafing. If you don't know what social loafing is, you're working on a project. Everybody is supposed to be working, but you have that two people out of four, two people that sit there and they text. They do everything but the project. But everybody's grade goes in to the project because the teacher is saying you all work together and then you get one grade. Well, the people that are working, they don't want to get an F. But the social loafer knows that he or she doesn't have to participate because they're going to get the grade anyway. If you're supposed to meet up, you say, okay, I'll be there. And then all of a sudden, the transportation stops, subways, buses, they disappear. A UFO comes over and just takes it all. No public transportation. I just saw all the buses and trains fly up in the air. The scooters, skateboards, everything else flew up in the air, so I couldn't help you with the project. And presenting, oh, I got into the weirdest thing happened. I was on a bus, and next thing you know, I found myself in NASCAR. And then in NASCAR, one of NASCAR came and it hit the bus. Everybody flew out, but everybody's okay. I just hurt I ripped my my nail. My nail no longer. It's horrible, and I spent all day in the emergency room about my nail. She's gonna kill me. She's gonna be mad. All right, but that's basically what I was talking about, and I just was like, and it all. And then look at this situation right now. And these socialists are so ungrateful. Some of the most ungrateful people on planet Earth, right? I deserve this. You need to give it to me because it's me. I'm a socialist. Me. And selfish is all outdoors, right? Now, whatever crazy type of idea, because capitalist, free market pays for these crazy ideas and policies. Now, remember about 10 years ago when women were talking about, and women, we do some of the craziest stuff. We want birth control. Oh, we want the government to pay for it. What? Wait a minute. Why are my tax dollars is getting involved in what you got going on in the bedroom when you don't want the government in your bedroom telling you what to do, but then again, you want the government to pay for your birth control because you want to have hot girl summer all day long, all year, 365 days a year, twice on Saturdays, forever, right? And then when people are like, wait a minute, I don't want to pay for that. How dare you? How dare you? And then you start screaming and hollering and man, I wish I had that girl up there. The lady in the yellow with the glasses on the ground screaming her head off. Her. Man, I don't have her at all. But then you have this. That's what happens. That is exactly what happens when you don't give them what they want. They start screaming and hollering. Or if not, they wind up like this. Oh my goodness, no. I had too much time on my hands. Oh my goodness. And then, if you decide not to, then you get something like this. Oh, really? I haven't finished my coffee. I haven't. I haven't. Oh my goodness. Ooh, that's strong. But with this right here, it's like, and you, some of you may have strong opinions on what I'm saying, and I'm making a little light of it just to poke at my friend. Just poke at him. Oh my goodness. Just to poke at her. But socialists, they need private industry because they're not producing anything. They want give me, but they do not want to put things together. They don't want to work. No, they'll work, but they don't want to produce anything. They don't want to innovate anything. And then if some of them do, you wind up like Bernie Sanders to say, man, screw you. I'm a millionaire now. Screw you. You see how fast he said, screw you? You see that? You see how fast he went from a socialist all these years and boop, capitalist. But I don't know. It's just quite interesting. Very interesting. But on that note,
not going back to Haiti. This is the time for all of us to
General, can I ask you?
not going back to Haiti.